There is always plenty of work to be done on a farm, whether it's your daily chores of feeding and tending to animals, or the occasional sick animal that needs extra attention, fencing that needs to be fixed, cleaning up after a storm. The list just goes on and on. So sometimes it's important to slow down and just enjoy the beautiful things that the farm has to offer. That's something that I have to remind myself of often and create time in my schedule to do that. Oftentimes, people view farm life as simple, slow-paced, and charming living, but when you're living in it, that doesn't always feel like the case. There always seems to be seasons when you have animals that are sick, weather that's unpredictable and makes managing things a lot harder, or an unforeseen expense that you weren't ready for. But farm life can be simple and charming if you allow it to be. Sometimes you just have to look past your overly ambitious to-do list and just embrace the job that's in front of you. Something that I've been doing the past couple years to help me create that slow-paced, charming life on the farm that we all desire is planting this very simple flower garden. So my garden is nothing special, and this time of year you would come and see a lot of weeds in a lot of areas that have not been well maintained throughout the summer. But my flower garden is just such a source of joy for me and a way to just really slow down and enjoy these long summer days on the farm. I just love to be able to take the blooms inside and create some beautiful vases to set around my home. So even though that might seem like an unnecessary use of my time on the farm, it is just so important to create the time and space to be able to just enjoy what the farm life has to offer. Over the weekend, my husband and I got a chance to dig up the rest of our onions and potatoes out of the garden. So this is a task that has been needing to get done, but as with everything on the farm, animals are certainly the most important thing, and things just came up and we weren't able to quite get everything out of the garden that needed to be out before we had a bunch of rain, and we're afraid that some of our onions aren't going to store as long. So today I'm making it a point on my to-do list to get some of those onions chopped up and preserved in the freezer so that none of it goes to waste. While most of what we do on the farm is for a source of income, the vegetable garden is just for our own family. We do not grow any vegetables to sell, but we really enjoy spending time together in the garden and growing these nourishing foods. And it's just another way that we can be self-reliant and raise most of our own food right here on the farm. So the garden has given us another opportunity to just take time and slow down and enjoy learning how to grow things, how to preserve them, and then learning how to cook delicious and healthy meals for my family using all of those ingredients that we raised on our farm. I think that the idea that farm life is charming and slow pace just comes from what farmers are doing every day, and that's planting, harvesting, caring for animals. All of those things can be very therapeutic and provide a very big sense of purpose. But I don't think that can only be achieved from farmers. I think there's ways in your everyday, ordinary life to be able to slow down and see the beauty around you. And I think summertime is a really good season for that. You can go to a local farmer's market, you can buy some fresh blooms, buy some fresh produce, and spend a little extra time in your kitchen creating and preparing a healthy meal for your family. All of those are things that can give you that same sense of purpose and value and just bring you a little extra joy on an ordinary day. I also think that reminder needs to be said for farmers too. Just like with everybody else, we get caught up in the hustle and bustle of busyness and things that need to get done. So just taking a chance to slow down and enjoy the ordinary, it's important for everybody. As I was going through our onions, I just had to take the minute to make myself a fried sweet onion, some onion rings. I have never made that before, and I just really wanted to try a healthy homemade version for a quick snack. One of my favorite things to do is to walk out to the garden and harvest all the vegetables that are ready, and then to take them back inside and create a meal with them. So tonight I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to do exactly, but I knew I wanted to use some zucchini and some of that fresh lettuce that I just picked. And I also had some ground beef thawed in the refrigerator, so I decided to make some loaded zucchini boats. I have never made these with ground beef before, but I basically just made like a spaghetti sauce inside a zucchini. And then I fed my sourdough earlier in the day so that way I can make some breadsticks to go along with it. Kind of do like a pasta style meal, just using the zucchini and then a fresh salad to serve as a side. Finding creativity in the kitchen has not always been natural for me, and it hasn't always been something that I really enjoyed, but I just found that paying attention to the ingredients that I'm using, especially for us, it's the ingredients that we grow on the farm, but it can just be ingredients that I've sourced locally. That's really a big source of joy for me in the kitchen, is just really paying attention to those ingredients and then learning new ways to use them. So it's just, I always think of it like, you know, some people like to sew, some people like to bake or to craft, and it's using your own hands and your own creativity to create something. So I just found a way to enjoy it in the kitchen, and it has been a learning process for sure, but cooking is something so ordinary and so mundane, but it's also something that you do every day and something that is so important to your life and your overall health and well-being. So being able to find a way to use my creative side and to enjoy it has really given me a lot of inspiration in the kitchen. I don't make every meal this elaborate or even halfway this elaborate. Most of the time my meals are just roasting a vegetable and grilling or baking a meat and then serving that with some fresh salad. But today I found a little bit of extra time during nap time, and I really wanted to get this meal prepped for dinner and just be creative and use as much fresh herbs and produce as I could. This actually turned out really good, and I'll definitely be making it again. It really wasn't that hard. It was a little bit more hands-on than most of the meals that I do, but it was a fun way to use up some of that garden zucchini that is just so abundant this time of year. And it was super easy to prep and store in the refrigerator so that I could bake it that night when I needed it for supper. I hope you enjoyed this video and following along for an ordinary day on the farm as I tried to create some beauty in the mundane. Thank you so much for watching.